Today's PC build is something special in the making. Western Digital have teamed up with us to show off their SN550 1TB M.2 drive. And what a better way to show it off than a Western Digital themed custom PC. G'day guys, my name is Corey and I run the Designs by Far YouTube channel. Firstly, before we begin, I'd like to state that Western Digital have sponsored this video to help us afford to build this PC. I'd also like to thank Asus and Lian Li for providing some of the parts to this build. Today's build is an exciting one. Z490 has launched and we have a new processor in-house. The tricky thing here is I have no idea which processor it is. We will be using the brand new Asus Strix Z490 gaming motherboard, and we decided to grab our T-Force XCalibur RAM, 32 gigs running at 3600 megahertz. For the GPU, we have the Asus Strix 2080 Ti, and I already know this is going to be a beast gaming PC, but as I said, we have no idea what CPU it's running until we actually fire up this system. The case will be the Lian Li Lancool II, and we're actually very curious to see what you guys think about these, the brand new Strimer Plus, or Strimer Plus, however you pronounce it, cables. They're RGB cables from Lian Li, so keen to see what your thoughts are down in the comments below. The Western Digital Blue SN550 1TB drive will be our main drive for this system. This drive is actually available in a range of capacities ranging from 250 gigabytes all the way up to 1 terabyte. And the good thing about this drive is it can deliver up to 4 times the speed of Western Digital's fastest SATA SSD. It has read speeds of up to 2400 megabytes per second and write of 1950 megabytes per second. So whether you're trying to load up your favorite games or you're busy editing, this drive has you covered. So what I want to do with this system is I want to benchmark the actual drive speeds and give you guys a bit of a comparison with price to performance towards the end of this build video. Now, one last thing before we begin the build, I just need to say a big thank you to our YouTube members and patrons. You guys have been absolutely awesome lately. We've got a bunch of you coming and it really helps us out with the cost of these PC builds. So thank you so much to you guys. I hope you all enjoy the build. If any of you guys are curious about the specs, I will leave all of those in the description below. For today's benchmarks, we loaded up Crystal Disk Mark 7. However, it was giving us some very inconsistent readings, so we decided to install Crystal Disk Mark 6 instead. This benchmark will test both the read and write speeds of the drive at various file sizes. We tested each run 4 times and they got extremely similar results. Each run had 2 passes included. On screen you can see the drive performing pretty much identical to the technical specs of 2400 megabytes per second read and 1950 megabytes per second write for the 1 gigabyte file transfer. As expected, when transferring larger file sizes, in this case 16 gigabytes, the read stayed fairly consistent, however the write dropped to 1830 megabytes per second. And again, transferring a 32 gigabyte file, we saw read stay right up there, however the write dropped down to 1500 megabytes per second. Temp stayed relatively cool, hitting a max of 39 degrees Celsius. So let's actually compare the Western Digital SN550 drive to some other competitive drives. The Western Digital SN550 1TB comes in at 235 Australian dollars. Each competitor drive is 1TB in capacity, 5 years warranty, and very similar life expectancies. The Samsung 970 Pro costs 495 Australian dollars, making it only 30% faster, but for a 103% price increase. You could buy 2 WD-SN550 1TB drives for that price. The Seagate FireCuda 1TB comes in at 359 Australian dollars, making it 35% faster for a 52% increase in price. So in conclusion, if you do not want to spend a lot of money on an M.2 drive and you want faster speeds than what SATA drives can offer, this is probably the drive for you. This is the budget-friendly drive that people are searching for, and I love that M.2 drives are continually getting cheaper and cheaper, yet the capacities are still growing larger and larger. So if you are in the market for a cheap but efficient drive, I'll leave the link in the description for the Western Digital SN550 drive. You'll find that under the specs in the description. So that about does it for us, guys. Hope you all enjoyed the video. And by the way, just for those of you who were curious, we did find out what CPU it was. It was the 10900, the non-K variant. So unfortunately, we can't go overclocking this CPU. With that being said though, this PC will certainly excel in gaming, especially with that Asus Strix 2080 Ti GPU. If you are interested in supporting us, YouTube channel memberships or becoming a Patreon is the best way to do that. I'll leave the links in the description. We also have some new tiers and perks open, so if you guys want to go check that out, then feel free to do so. Jump onto our Discord for further discussion or just to say hi. The link will be in the description. You guys know exactly where to find it. Guys, if you liked the video, please like it, consider subscribing, checking out more videos on the channel, lots of custom PCs, reviews, modding tutorials, water cooling guides, and much more. And we'll see you all in the next one.